Welcome back, everybody. Gosh golly, it's nearly Christmas. People that are a little bit older maybe aren't in the Christmas spirit yet. And that was me. That was me a few years ago. But this year's different because now I appreciate Christmas for what it is. This is a time to make money, to be kind for a month, and to not do anything. So join me because we're going to get into some super special Christmassy stuff this episode. And I'm doing this early because a lot of you suckers need to get in the spirit. I'm sorry, I just got off the phone with Santa, and he says there's a lot of naughty children out there today, and he's got such an easy job now because he only has to deliver presents to 20% of the children. A lot of the adults nowadays too, they're out here doing OnlyFans, doing ketamine every weekend, and a lot of them are being very naughty with underage girls, which Santa is especially not happy about. Because he said it's specifically only him that can be a naughty boy. So, let's go. We are in the month of December, and you know what that means. Sun, sex, and A&E. This little tale comes straight out of my family, and it's happened today, so this is fresh off the printing press. Looks like Christmas is coming early. So this is fresh off the printing press, okay? This slop is steamy. So, what's happened? My dad's just going to get a turkey. And turkeys are the birds, right, that we eat for Christmas. And it's early, but you've got to get it early because you don't want to be without a turkey on Christmas. That's like being at rehab for porn addiction. You want something serious. You want to be accepted by everybody. You don't want to be having a meatloaf or some sort of vegan casserole for Christmas dinner. Because I've got friends that do that, and they're very pale, and we think very low of them. So my dad's gone to get this turkey, right, and he's gone to a budget place, and I always tell him that. I always say, Dad, listen, man, you've got a poverty mentality. You're doing all right. This year, let's go kill a turkey ourselves and pay the fine. But no, we'd rather go to Iceland, we'd rather go to Aldi, and whatever. Apparently they all taste the same, right? But I actually have in good faith that all their turkeys take SSRIs and have seasonal depression. So the meat tastes all sorts of bad. So, what's happened then? So my dad buys this turkey and he takes it home and he sees the date on it. It expires January 2024. Now that's very close, all right? A lot of the other turkeys where he went, they were all expiring like later on in the year. And then he looks a little bit closer because his old eyes can't really fucking work properly. And he sees that this bird was frozen in March 2020. What? What's going on here? What's going on here? Like this turkey is Mr. Disney being put in a cryo chamber. How much shit has happened in 4 years since this fucking little turkey has been killed? I mean, we ought to wake this little bird up, all right, and tell him, just go through everything. I mean, this thing died before the pandemic. Jesus Christ. 2 wars going on, Turkey. What do you think about Israel-Palestine? What's going on with the turkeys? And he took this poor little thing back, and they said, "Oh my God, that's terrible. You can have it for half price." Why would you want it for half price? He got a full refund. Who the fuck would want that for half price? How many times has it been unthawed and refrozen in these 4 years? I mean, and then I thought about it, and I thought, damn. I think this turkey kind of must have been so excited that it finally found a home. I just feel sorry for it. It finally had a chance to give a healthy family salmonella for Christmas, and it's just been taken back, and it'll be ultimately destroyed, I imagine, or they might give it to a dog. They might give it to a dog for Christmas. But, it's actually a pretty good John Lewis advert idea, I think, to be honest. So I might write him a little email about the last turkey picked for Christmas. But that's just my first little tale. And if I'm getting tales like this on the 7th of December, is that what day it is? I don't know. What date is it? If I'm getting tales like this on the 7th of December, gosh golly, I think someone might come down with testicular cancer by Christmas. At this rate. Anyway, So this is a Christmas episode. I'm just going to regale some tale about Christmas and what I think about it, and so maybe some ideas for you guys, some things that if you want to get rich over Christmas, from some of the hustlers that listen to this, because I myself am a little bit of a hustler, and I've wrote some down, a couple of things, just quick bullet points really about what you could do if you wanted to get quick rich, super quick. Start smoking or stop. Either or, I think a change over this Christmas will be good for a lot of people. And um, if you can't smoke, any other sort of addiction, hey, why not pick it up? Let's see if we can pick an addiction up Christmas, and by New Year, stop it as well. Just to prove to yourself that you've got it in the tank. A lot of these people, they go through their whole life looking down on heroin users, on gambling addicts, that they don't have any self control. Well, this Christmas, why don't we all get an addiction, and we'll all have the self control come New Year's to have stopped it. That was just my first point, and that sounds pretty good, right? You want to now? There's a lot of homeless people. There's a lot more than there used to be. Tough economic conditions, inflation, housing crisis. So I want you guys to start a affiliate marketing program, and you want to start recruiting homeless people to do your pyramid scheme. And I mean that just makes sense on a fundamental scale. There's a lot more people. There's a lot of people out there that you can manipulate, and people that are ripe for manipulation are the unhoused. I'll let you guys figure the rest out of that. I can't just keep giving these gems away for free. You're gonna have to subscribe to my scheme. Also, I just wrote this while I was thinking about this. Santa Claus and Adolf Hitler, they're like the only names where nobody names their kid that anymore, right? No one's called Santa Claus, and you're damn sure no one's called Adolf Hitler. So what's all that about? You just want to ask your parents for gender reassignment surgery just to see if they're allies. And you want to ruin Christmas as much as you can. If they're not, obviously. But just throw it out there. Come out. Let's see what they think. Maybe throw some glitter on Christmas Day. A lot of Christmases go by and no one really thinks, right, let me see if how I can make this one the most rememberable how I can make this one the most rememberable period in our family history. They all kind of merge into one. They only stick out from the presents that you got, really, don't you? No one thinks, "Oh, Mum made the dinner especially shit this year." No, you think, "Well, I just got the brand new iPhone. Yes, I'm going to be cool in school. Yes, I got these shoes. I remember this Christmas because this is when I stepped up a level." So this Christmas, do not rely on your family to step up a level with gifts. You want to step up yourself on the social ladder. So let's cut that cock off. And you got to start thinking like that. You've got to start thinking, how am I going to make everyone have tears in their eyes on the edge of a mental breakdown come Christmas present day? Just come out. Just come out for Christmas. Try it out. Maybe after Christmas, you want to switch back. That's so cool right now. You can do that. This is the very, very last point, okay? You want to get on Santa's naughty list this year, right? Nobody wants to be on Santa's naughty list ever. That's the one place no one wants to be. Some say it is more dangerous than being on the FBI's most wanted list, okay? But if we actually think about it, it holds some of the most accomplished individuals on an international level the world's ever seen. I mean, if I just had to name a couple of people that was most definitely on the naughty list for Santa, it'd have to be Osama bin Laden. I reckon he's probably made his way onto it. Jack the Ripper, I reckon he's probably the first one on there. Mr. Blobby, this guy was a sick creep. This is a real twisted individual that I'm sure has done some seriously disgusting things off camera. And I just guarantee that he's on that list. I don't need to prove anything. Just trust me on this one, okay? I could go on. I could go on. I think, maybe some people that are living at the minute, I feel like Tony Blair is probably on the naughty list. Vladimir Putin. This is why you want to be on it. And you might think about those names that I've just said and go, Wayne, they're a handful of the most dangerous, sickening, vile psychopaths that have ever walked this earth. Why would I want to be on a list, right, with these people? And the short answer is, all right, and I'm sure I've heard this from Santa when he rang me up. The naughty list is a short list to eternity in hell. And who does not want to be there, right? If you get yourself on the naughty list, I've heard the devil, that's the first list that he looks. That's like, okay, the draft. These are the first key cats that are going to get picked to go to hell. And you've really got to do it nowadays as well. You don't just get a naughty list for not tidying your room or for not having manners. People, you've got. Hell is like detention, only really for the cool kids. Detention that never ends, and it was always the coolest people that were in detention. It just makes logical sense to me that hell is going to be sweet with sweet things happening 24/7, and everyone always goes on about, oh, it's eternity, it never ends. Hell, have you ever been at a party and gone, oh God, how bad would this be if it never ended? No one ever says that, do they? People are constantly going at parties where the cool people are. I hope this shit lasts for eternity. And I really do truly think that's what hell's going to be like, people. I mean, we're talking jacuzzis of lava, screaming, no one's drinking water. That's so lame. Now we've come to our final little point of Christmas, and it's some memories that I have. And these are very sweet memories. And these are true. I remember when I was younger, and I don't know the age, but I'm frightened to think it might have been 14. My mum used to buy me reindeer food, and on Christmas Eve I used to sprinkle it outside the front of the house to to trick the reindeer to come into our house. Sprinkle up the path, and the reindeer is going to think, oh look, food. I'm going to go into this house, and Santa's going to follow me and give him presents. Hey, man, I don't make the rules. But gosh, if I could have a time machine, I would love to go back and just sit myself down and just really just tell this young man how pathetic he is, how stupid you could possibly be to even believe that reindeers would want oats with glitter in. Oats with glitter in. What is that? Some sort of gay Harry Potter house. But I was always very cautious of Santa being real or not. And I was asking my parents, hey, he's not real, okay? I'm going to prove to you that he's not real. So one year I tied a string around my feet or my toes or whatever. And I tied the other end to my sack. To my Christmas sack. Not my ball sack, all right? We weren't trying to catch a predator out here. We're trying to catch the big man that comes once a year. So yeah, I tried to do this, and it didn't work. I woke up and the string wasn't round my foot anymore, and my sack was filled to the brim. It's very insulting being lied to as a teenager about the existence of someone that is so definitely not real. When you're getting showed videos of 2 girls, 1 cup by some of your closest friends, and you're looking at this and you're thinking, how is this real? This can't be real. I mean, this is chocolate, obviously. Some humans can't actually do this. This is not real. And you've got more proof that women are eating each other's feces than you have for the man that comes every year that your parents wouldn't even tell you is a lie. And my parents have never actually told me. They've never sat me down and just said, hey, Santa isn't real. They should do that, when your parents sat you down and they try to give you the birds and the bees. I remember my dad tried to do that, and I just told him to shut up because it made me cringe so much. about my dad even attempting to pretend like he has sex with my mom. But yeah, they should sit you down. They should say, they should just be a talk where we get the Santa question, the SCQ out of the way, and we get out to sex as well. First chapter Santa, second chapter anal, and it should just all be brushed away in one day like that, and you can finally go confidently to your nieces and nephews. This fucking guy isn't even real. You fucking idiots! You think you actually believe it? You really believe it? You're idiots. He's not real at all. I remember the kids that I went to school with that had joy in telling people Santa wasn't real. And there was a girl in our class that she wasn't mental, but she ate through a tube. So whatever that is, she couldn't eat food through her mouth. She had to digest milk through a tube in her nose. So whatever that is, all right, I'm not sure, but whatever that is, and she believed that Santa was real up until the very late stages of primary school, and it was so fun for these people, and I might have even joined in, to tell this poor girl that Santa's not real, and it is fun to tell people stuff that they don't know, and especially when you're a kid and you think you're better than the mentally disabled girl in the class. But that's just what kids would be like, you know. Have I got anything else written down, or am I just gonna keep on spreading too much Christmas joy? I've been reading up about this Santa guy, and just the whole Christmas stuff. Seeing if I could get a real answer. And the Wikipedia, they was talking about psychological impacts of, saying that Santa's real, and just out and out lying about something that cannot be proved. And some of these psychological impacts, I wrote a couple of them down. Erectile dysfunction. Nope, that's wrong. That's the wrong one. I read the wrong one. The parents intentionally lying to children promotes distrust. That it promotes selfishness, greed, and materialism. And this goes back. I'll attack this first one first about promotes distrust. Hey, listen. I don't know how much percentage of the country believes that there's an even bigger man in the sky. All right, that created this whole party to begin with. But let's not act like a little lie is going to make the kid into a murderer. That promotes selfishness, greed, and materialism. Now, I know who's wrote this, and it's somebody that doesn't have fun, because that is the only good bit about Christmas when you're a kid, is the selfishness, greed, and materialism. I don't, you don't write a list out of who you want to donate money to and what causes you think should be broadcast right around the world to raise money for. You write a list of shit you want, all right, and a lot of it, and a lot of shit at that, all right. Like I said before, the people that are eating fucking mock meat tofu salads at Christmas dinner, that is somebody that I don't want to be around ever. I don't even want to be in the same room at any point of the year with these people, because that sort of attitude what's the word? Transmits to all the sections of their lives. And before you know it, they don't even want to play poker with you because they don't agree with gambling. I do think there is some things wrong with Christmas, and it really is it's a new thing. My parents never did this, and I never heard anything about it. It's like the Elf on the Shelf, Grinch type Christmas, which I'm sure only poor people do. That they're a little bit, they aren't all that together. And it seems like a poor activity where basically you hide an elf or something. You hide an elf, and it kind of draws on all the kids' faces, and it's fun. That there's a little monster running around the house, drawing on everyone's faces. But the other one is where you get some homeless guy to dress up like Grinch and bound into the Christmas party and destroy the Christmas decorations and run off with the presents. And in every video of this, the children, this is their nightmare. This is a literal incarnation of a child's worst nightmare. Is somebody, in green, destroying the Christmas tree and robbing the presents. That is the most important part of Christmas, is the presents. And you've got some drug addict screaming, running off with them. And, all the family are having a laugh at this. Ha ha ha. God, it's great. Look at the look on the child's face. There's so many tears coming out of their eyes. And you get the videos on Facebook, and I always look at the comments, and it is always just a 50-50 split of, the vitamin D deficiencies, thinking that the kid is going to grow up with an anxiety problem. And then you've got the mongs that would quite happily do this to their own family, saying, all my friends were raped by priests when I were in school. We only had 4 channels on the TV. What's a Grinch gonna do, stealing Christmas? So, yeah. Both of those two people will probably be in heaven. So this is why you want to be in hell this Christmas. All right.